Okay, change the name of this YouTube channel. Because believe it or not, since it kind of just dumped and Multiverse just dumped, I bet people are searching it. Astralis Money App Univ Money App just Rugpulled. Univ what? Oh. How to spot a Rugpull scam Rugpull project. Stay safe. Oh wow. Okay. Astralis Money App just Rugpulled Univ Universe Fork Scam. How to spot a Rugpull project. Stay safe. Right. Okay. Alright, so I just did Mimiverse, which of course just exploded, to the downside of course. So, live on stream too as I was doing it. See, that's why I always, like, don't plan anything, right? You know, be present with God and just do what's in front of you. Like, you'd be surprised at how much clarity and vision you are granted when you do that, because that's how God wants it. Satan lives in the past and the future, but not the present, alright? Because God is in the present. That's just how it works. So anyway, luckily Astralis did not delete their Twitter because I guess they just didn't bother. So, you know, that's why we're on here. Because usually when a rug pull happens, they delete everything. The Twitter, the Telegram, the Discord, the website, everything. All right. Yeah. See, wait, this is the, yeah. See, invite is invalid. And that's because they don't exist anymore. So, Astralis, I was going to make a video on this today because I did a pump and dump on this yesterday 3 times. I made some good money off of that. And again, that's the reason why I do pump and dumps now, because this is exactly what fucking always happens. Alright? It's actually safer because you get near guaranteed profit, assuming that it doesn't rug pull before you pull your money out. And then I usually want to wait a little bit, right? Because, you know, I want to make sure that whatever I put on my YouTube, the project's actually legitimate and it's not rug pulling, right? Again, which is why I got mad at Colossus calls, right? Because he told me about Nodec, and like his Telegram told me about Nodec, Unipay, and Mimiverse, and they all are just tanking now. So it's like, you know, like, what the fuck, you know? It's like, how the hell are you, like, making money or doing any of this stuff, right? So anyway, that's just how it goes, so. Anyway, what do I look for? So I'm not really sure what I want to. Well, first let's talk about Astralis, right? So basically, their website doesn't work anymore. Because we were going through a lot of rug pulls this afternoon and morning in the secret crypto group that I'm in, and Multiverse just rug pulled. That was apparently led by a French dev team, supposedly. And I think it's really the same scammers over and over and over again. So, you know, I guess lucky for the Multiverse devs because they're so heavily involved in Discord. I don't know if they scammed any money or scammed a little bit through their bullshit pre-sale they just had. But they can be tracked and then arrested, of course. So, you know, we'll see how that goes. I prefer hard rugs as opposed to soft. Yeah, the soft rugs are the hardest ones to go for, and that's what Astralis is. That's why I gotta make this video. I mean, if you're going to get fucked in the ass, you want to get over with quickly, right? Yeah, exactly. But the soft rugs, you can make a lot of money off of it, right? Just pump and dump on the launch day. That's like yesterday. I even had my mouse do the left click auto because like for gaming I have bots, right? So one of the macro commands I commanded from my mouse is left click really quickly, right? So I don't go AFK. So I was literally doing that. I lined up the confirm swap button on Pancake Swap yesterday on Astralis because it kept giving me transfer failed. Eventually, I figured the crypto chat, and right. Let me oh, I can't show you. It doesn't matter. Right? But yeah, let me see it. Maybe there's left click test. Is there maybe click speed test? Clicks in 5. Well, where do I click here to start playing? Okay, so I click the macro. Look at that. See? Oh, What are you doing? Why is this doing that? So you can see that it's constantly restart. See, I'm not doing anything. See, you both my hands, but it's left clicking like crazy. All right. Your fingers says I have a king score. Oh yeah, but yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. Just well, yeah. Like, why should I do any physical hard work when I can have a computer do everything? So anyway, the safest. I don't remember what the original thought was, but basically, soft rugs obviously are more dangerous. So, but on the other hand, you can profit off of. Am I still left clicking? Oh no, but they're more profitable. At least at first, right? Because the problem with the hard rug is it just instantly pulls money, so you have no chance to, pull out of the project. So that's why I always want legit projects. Well, Playmates was legit, right? They're not rug pulling, so I was able to make good money off of that launch because you still need time to let the market do its thing, let the buy and sell pressure go crazy, right? And because everyone's trying to get in and get out, right? And in Astralis' case, they lasted about, what, 22, 23 hours? Or something like that. And that's more than enough time, because you really only just need a few hours. Because yesterday, Astralis, like, I got in really early, I dumped that shit, I did it, I went in, and then after it dipped a little bit, like an hour later, I bought, I dumped again, after it went back up, then I came, and then I decided to go get groceries, right? That's why I told the Discord. And then, I came back later that night and then did another pump and dump. But it's like, I see that their website, it looks like shit when it was still live, but they are minting new planets. So I'm like, do I really want to hold this? And then I just watched it for a few hours last night. I was like, okay, it's not going up. And then I see more sell pressure. So you know what? I'm going to dump, I'm going to take a little profit. And then overall, I turned 0.6 Binance coin into 2.2 Binance coin. So I made almost, oh shit, I almost made 400% in one day. Oh, that's actually a lot of money. Huh. And Binance Coin was about to hit $400 a piece, but I think now crypto's a little under pressure. Not too much pressure. Yeah. So, and then I spent some of my profits buying Univ, of course, and I staked it in the Univ site here. And I bought more Titano as well, right? And in fact, I've actually been increasing slowly my Titano play holdings. Because it actually doesn't take much to actually win this pot, especially when you have technically 10 chances to win, right? And previous rich people who won the previous play award cannot actually win again, all right, until the next time. So your chances of actually winning this lottery is actually kind of high for Titano play. Yeah, so that's where I do my profits, and then I'll read that in a sec. And whatchamacallit? Yeah, and then that's why I do my profits, and the rest I'm just leaving in Binance Coin because obviously I want to keep building my bankroll. So for the next launch, I don't go all in because if I get it wrong, I lose all the money, right? So I want to slowly increase because like 9 times out of 10 I'll make money, right? Or maybe 50 times out of 51. But that one time that I lose, then it's like whatever. I lose. That's why you do fixed amounts of bets. To be on par with bots, you have to. Yeah, I mean bots are way faster than even my little shitty. This thing, all it does is just left click really quick. Like bots don't even bother with that. I think they just simply go. I don't even know how the bots do it. I just know that they get in on like block 1, like block 1 to like the first 10 blocks. But yeah, so. All right, so anyway, what do I look for? All right, so the first danger sign is no website, and all they have is a Telegram, a Twitter, and very rare they have a Discord, right? And they only have those. And then what else do rug pulls do, right? They just start banning everyone. They start restricting the chat. When Deimos came out, like you could not reply to them, so that's another danger sign. It's like these little things, like basically anything that prevents communications and reduces it, that is a good sign of a rug pull. That's the first thing. That's basically what I look for, right? Because rug pullers don't want that much social exposure because then that might open up like, oh, we can track these criminals. So that's probably why they have very few things. Telegram is the most popular social media platform to do rug pulls on is because it's encrypted. So you can't actually trace these people. On Twitter, you can be traced. On Discord, you can be traced, but Telegram is a lot harder to trace, if not impossible. So, with that being said, scammers still use Twitter or Discord, right? And then they don't really steal that much money, so they just get away with the scam. But basically, I need to see full socials. We obviously want to see the website, right? So that's pretty much what it is. And then it's kind of difficult because some legit projects do stealth launches, and they don't have any of these, and they don't turn to be a rug pull. But that's part of the scam, right? So. And then another thing I would look for is how quickly do they go from Twitter or Discord or Telegram to launch? Like they just come out of nowhere and say, "Oh, we're launching!" Like literally within like a couple hours. So that's definitely a rug pull risk. In fact, I wouldn't touch that shit. So basically, you want to see if there's a project in which they have socials out for like a few days to like a couple of weeks, ideally, right? If they don't have these things, you should probably assume, yeah, this is a rug pull. Right, because what they do is because some people probably try to trade rug pulls, and then there's liquidity, and then they steal from the liquidity, right? And then they get away with like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $10,000 or whatever, right? So yeah, and that's kind of like it, yeah. And it's a shame too, because Astralis looked very promising, like their site was actually working, like everything was working. So I think somebody in the chat, I think it was someone in the chat that's like, I think he still managed to pull out in time and get a little bit of profit because he chose to stay in. I'm not gonna mention the name, obviously. He chose to stay in overnight, which was pretty insane. But luckily, he got his money out, so he got back his original principal, and then he took whatever profits he could because. The first sign of the rug pull for Astralis was they started deleting channels in Discord. And the guy said as soon as he saw that, he immediately dumped everything. So, smart guy. And and like I said, what's one of the key signs of a rug? They start deleting channels and shit. Did you end up leaving Godstake? Yes, I left it. So you have not been watching my videos. Yes, I left it. I left it a while ago. I'm out of everything now. And just check my tweet for like what positions I'm in right now. I think it may not even be. I think it might already be outdated because I dumped my Nodec and Mimiverse. So yeah, because right now Eris Finance is coming out. Zeus Finance and Hera Money, right? These guys just announced a partnership together. So I don't know if we have the Hera guy in the Elite Discord, but we do have Zeus Finance, the dev himself. Zeus or Zeus Prime. He is in the Elite Discord, so alright, I mean, if he's in there, I mean, I guess he's pretty legit, right? And Zeus Finance does look kind of interesting. They're going to be the first Tomb fork on Binance Smart Chain. So that's going to be actually pretty good, assuming, of course, it's legit, right? I mean, even though we're all in the Discord, I still don't know some of the people, so, but with that being said, it does go a long way, right? It's like we don't just invite any fucking random asshole, So yeah, and of course we got Eris Finance coming out, so I don't want to deal with any more of these fucking Titano forks. I'm just gonna ape into Eris, and that'll be that. All right. So now that I have to go, but that's not launching until February 14th. So that's 2 weeks from now, Valentine's Day. So I'm gonna leave that video to like later this week because I got such a huge backlog of content. So I guess if everything just starts rug pulling or going down way too much in value, then I won't have such a backlog. So yeah. So let me see. What's another tip? So yeah, usually most rug pulls don't even have a fucking website. Another thing to look for is graphics, right? Are they using shitty graphics, and or is it actually a free graphic you can steal from Google Images, right? So obviously if they're using stolen images or someone else's work, right? That's a rug pull sign. They do custom graphics, like I think this is custom, right? Or I guess. Oh, I mean it's a gift from somewhere else. Then that's a little safer, right? Again, it's like signal intelligence, right? You want to look for those subtle things that give away a project, right? Whether they're a good project or a bad project. If it's a good project, it gives off good signals, right? If it's a bad project, it gives off bad signals, right? It's just like your health. If you're healthy, you're not really emitting body odor. But if you're unhealthy, you're going to be putting out a lot of stinky smells, all right? So, and that's an indicator of good or poor health, right? Or in my case, I ate something I should not have, and my body's not happy about it. The marketing for Astralis has kicked in and it's pumping back up. It seems like people coming into the project from all over. Yeah, it makes sense because people are desperate for something, and I'm glad that Astralis is doing well. I'm still gonna stay out of it because I don't see any developer shit going on. It's just a marketing thing. With that being said, let me see. Because I know Crypto DJ and Epi has been working very hard, and I'm sure a couple others in the Elite Discord are working very hard with Astralis to try to save it, because obviously they don't want to lose all their money. So, fucking hell. Astralis app. Why don't I see if I can get the contract? I need the contract. Yeah, the other thing I don't like is they constantly bash Palace. Like, that's kind of like how others do it, so... okay, so here's the documentation for Astralis. Astralis token? Here we go. I want the Astralis smart contract. Okay. So I need this clown. I copy the address. Okay. Now I need Dex Screener. Okay, so I need Dex Screener. This is on Phantom. So do you spell it FTM or? Great. I'm going to do this the annoying way. Okay, so Phantom. All right, and then I do this. I think. All right. So I know it's been popping off. So yeah, it continues to pop off. Oh, great! It's got this stupid shit. Yeah, this thing is doing really well. So it's gone up a little bit since this morning, but it's going up pretty well. Damn. So yeah, you were able to hold all the way down here, and then yeah, you would do okay actually. I mean, imagine you bought down here, and then they shoot up like crazy. Yeah, you just made like almost. You made like 100, 200%, 102. Yeah, you basically made almost 2x your money, and then you got the 18% sell fee. So this is a really good dump. I personally would still dump this project, right? I know people don't like taking losses, but you really should. Well, with that being said, it is a good sign that Astralis is, trying to do something. But again, I looked at their Twitter. They said a big announcement, and it's just Gleam and just promote the project. It's like, okay, so you don't actually have anything. You're not saying, oh, we're gonna come out with Titano fork on Astralis. Oh, we're not going to make this thing. It's like, where's the development? So, and then what's going to happen when Zeus Finance comes out and Eris Finance comes out? We're going to eat your lunch. So, decent gains if you bought the dip. Yeah, and I strongly recommend taking your profits out of Astralis. Or there's a good time to get out of Astralis. But again, if you want to take that risk and hold it, that's your choice. I wouldn't do that. Like, I've seen enough of this dumb shit all over the place to just, I've had it with this shit. So, yeah, I mean, let me see. So anyway, getting back to rug pulling, I don't know if I have any others, because again, there's just so many little different things I just pick up, and I don't even think about it. I just go, oh, that's a problem, or oh, okay, so that's a good sign. So yeah, I think I went over all the important stuff. Yeah, and then again, you ultimately do not know if a new project is a rug pull or not. So ultimately, if you want to play the launch like I've been doing, you want to do a fixed amount of money, right? And you don't want to ape in every single time. It's exactly like gambling. If you go all in all the time, that one time that you lose, you're going to lose everything. So that's why money management is so important, right? So in my case, I used 0.6 Binance coin. It's a very small fraction of everything that I have, right? So when I was playing our Astralis yesterday, right, the launch, 0.6 became 1.2 Binance coin, right? So I exited completely. I wait for the dip, which came, and I bet another 0.6, right? And then I rode that back up. I turned that into another like 1.1, 1.2. It was like very interesting. It's like, is this a rug pull? Is it going to go down? Is it going to go up? Is this a rug pull? I was like, all right. And I was totally calm about it. I was like, okay, it's going up, it's going up. Oh, I see dip. Oh, okay, it goes back up. Now it's flatlining. dump that shit. And I perfectly timed it because it started dumping. Because I could see that the sell pressure was not, or the buying pressure was not forming. If anything, I just kept seeing more and more sells after going up a lot. And then, of course, and then I went away, came back from grocery shopping, just quick groceries. Wrote it back up, held it for a few hours while I was watching it. It's like, this thing doesn't really want to go up. There's something not right. It's like, you know what? I'll take my profit now. So I wound up turning 0.7 Binance coin into, I think, 0.9. So I remember I made 28% gain, something like that. I calculated it. Yeah, so I think that's about right. 0.7 became like a little under 9%, 0.9 Binance coins. So I made a good profit. I made a really good profit. It's like, all right, you know what? It's not doing very well. It looks like it wants to drop again. I'll just buy the dip again tomorrow and see what happens. And in fact, I was like, okay, I got to do the video on Astralis because it looks like it's not a rug pull. They're still developing. I see people minting. Everything looks like it's fine. And then what happens, right? Shit really hit the fan with this clown. It's like, you just never know, man. You just never know. And that's why the pump and dump strategy for launches and new projects is always, unfortunately, the best thing you can do. You pull out all your money, you get your profits, and more importantly, you're not risking your money in a project that could very well just pull the plug. Like, all right, Astralis waited 22 hours or so to pull the plug and pull the rug on everyone. All right, and now everyone got fucked who didn't get out. Right? Oh yeah. So someone in the Discord actually said that they saw a transaction on Dex Screener. I assume it was on Dex Screener, where someone sold like 10 million or 100 million Astralis tokens for $50. That guy literally just lost several $1,000s, or like 10 or 11 or $12,000 in this rug pull scam. And it's just sad. It's just sad. All right? Not as in I'm insulting the guy, but sad that I feel bad for the guy. But that's what happens, right? You play greedy, sooner or later you will get fucked in the ass without your permission with no Vaseline by a very sharp dildo. All right? So just don't play that game. All right? Because remember, I still have to deal with that kind of greed factor too, right? Remember, I turned 0.6 Binance coin into like 1.2 or 1.5, whatever. It turned into a shit ton of money in my first trade. Did I, I don't even think the thought occurred to me to bet all 1.5 or whatever, right? Because let's say I did do something that stupid. All right, I go all in with all my profit, and then Astralis rug pulls. Then I lose all my hard work and money. Does that make sense to you? No, you gotta play it safe. So that's why I re-enter with 0.6 again, right? Because you always want to bet a certain fixed percentage, a fixed amount of money. Right? If I had 10 Binance coin in my wallet, I would have done like a 1.5 Binance coin bet. Maybe I would have done 2 to 2.5. Right? Because usually I'm willing to risk more if the project looks more legit. So for example, if it was Playmates, right? I had 10 Binance coin. I mean, well, they use AVAX. So let's say I had 100 AVAX, right? I would be okay. I would be okay with 25 to maybe even 50 AVAX, right? Because in red light no district / Playmates case, I saw their face. They were doing a YouTube live. They had a website and everything. Everything was working. They had all the documentations. They had liquidity pool locks. They had all of this good stuff, right? The multi-sigs and all that stuff. I was like, yeah, this is probably legit. Also, if you're playing a rug pull, why would you be dumb enough to show your face? Because everyone will, that's it. The moment you show your face, you can instantly be tracked sooner or later, right? You know that technology they have in China where they identify everybody with 50 million cameras? Well, everybody in the world has that tech, right? You will not be able to hide. So it's like, oh, okay, so he's probably not a scam. so yeah. And ideally, I would love to find launches like Red Light No District where it's that safe. And then I would actually just be able to make, 50 grand a month or 100 grand or whatever, but yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's the rug pulls I look for. And again, ultimately, you just never know when something is a rug pull, right? Because these Because the multiverse Rugpull, I mean, I can't even pull anything up because they deleted everything, right? Those guys had everything. They had a website. They had their socials. They had no website though, so that I thought was a red flag. No website, no white paper, but they had everything else. They had socials, and they had like 4,500 members before Zach called them out. So there's always a risk. There's always a risk of these things. So a rug pull, if they don't provide a website, that's a major red flag. If they don't provide a documentation page or a white paper, equally another red flag. These things are so easy and simple to create, but rug pullers don't even bother with that. And one of the reasons why a lot of these scams do not have websites, I think, and I can only theorize about this, but I think it's because A, it's more work, but B, this is the most important thing. You have to register a domain and then buy web hosting. These are two separate steps that actually require you to kind of give up your identity in some form, like a credit card, your bank account info, etc. These things can all be tracked. If you're a rug pull scammer, you don't want that shit, because then they'll just trace the money, and then cops will swarm you and then arrest you, right? You don't want that as a rug pull thief, right? Because that's what you are, a thief, right? So, and that's also why most of these thieves are outside the United States, right? And I guess for some reason are also located, these thieves are in France. So I guess they have lax enforcement laws there or something, which actually makes sense because they're always rioting and burning cars or something. So, but that's just France for you, so whatever. Yeah. So there's a reason why they're always outside of these jurisdictions where they have very light policing and tracking data, right? Because I don't really see or hear too many Chinese people usually scamming, though Dogverse did sound like they had Chinese names and they kind of spoke like they were Chinese people that knew a little bit of English. That was definitely a rug pull, right? And then it's like, I'm going to pass on this, but it looks like a rug pull. And as soon as they launched, quote unquote, they rug pulled in like 3 minutes. Right, because they had no website, no documentation. The so-called devs were very hostile to basic questions to all of chat, and then they locked chat like 10 minutes before they launched to prevent impersonators and other bullshit. Right, and there was a moment on Sunday when Playmates did the same thing, but they reopened the chat. Right, so I was like, oh man, this better not be a rug pull after all. Right, but they reopened the chat because again, rug pullers do what? They close the communication channels as best as they can, right? And it's always different in each of these rug pulls by just not having the social, or they lock the chat, for Discord, for example, or on Twitter they lock the replies, so you can't even reply to them. So I think at this point, I think I'm being a dead horse. This has been a 28-minute video, so I don't see any more questions in the chat. So. Yeah, rest in peace, Astralis. I was very happy to do a video on them today, but obviously they're a scam project. But, oh well, whatever. Oh wow, and Univ is actually tanking. Damn, I wish I kind of bought a little bit afterwards. Yeah, so it looks like people are just starting to get a little bit fuddy about Universe, but yeah, I mean, I still, considering the returns you get out of Univ, you don't really need to invest that much into Univ to get up to like $100 a day. So, yeah, so not too bad. But of course, that does mean that the hyperinflation in Univ is still kind of extreme. But let me see. What's their current? Of course, I gotta do this. What's their current circulating supply? Because I know it's been going up since like a couple hours ago. Okay, so 19.9. So this circulating supply is starting to go up quite a bit. Yeah, it used to be 19.7. Number of plants my camera's covering is 33,468. So it hasn't really minted too many new plants. I don't know. I might have to actually stop compounding for a bit and start selling. So because yeah, I guess I could say this. Yeah, so after the 28% tax, I make about $80 a day. Now, it's actually less than $80 a day because obviously Univ is going down right now. So, I don't know. Univ might actually turn out to be kind of shit too. I mean, let's hope that's not the case. Because again, when I first looked at Univ, it was at 20.8 billion. circulating supply. But again, you know, just watch this. Anything on congruent? No, nothing. I didn't actually know this, but apparently we actually delayed the launch to like February 10th. Because I haven't been involved at all in Congress. Like I kind of already hinted that I actually already told the policy team that, you know, don't pay me, and then you know, I started giving out hints that I kind of want to leave, right, or just not do any of this anymore. Because now I'm busy with YouTube and doing all these forks and shit. So you know, so I mean that's kind of it. But yeah, there's a voting proposal now in Congress to airdrop wrapped staked gas or normal staked gas. And again, that's another reason why I just can't stand DAOs. There's too much. There's just all this stupid, needless complexity that just fucks everything up. And that's extra steps you have to follow, which is why I just hate that we're going down a stupid Ethereum. But whatever, I'm just glad that, you know, everything's going on the up and up, and then I'll eventually get back all my money. I don't know if I'm going to hold congruent long enough to make a profit on it, because I just want to get my money back, and so I'll decide what happens then. But aside from the date change of the launch, well, I guess we shouldn't say this, but basically, the implementation of airdropping staked gas will have to delay things a little bit, because I guess they have to change the contracts or whatever, which makes sense, right? Because right now the contract to airdrop S gas, I think is already pretty much done. So now you're changing that, so now you got to do something different or whatever. So I just wish that I knew about Titano at the same day that I discovered, you know, Metaverse Pro. You know, I would be doing so well in fucking Titano right now. I would be up. Not only would I be up 5x, but I would be producing Jeez, I don't even want to think about it. I would actually be moving out of New York City right now because I would be making that much money. I'll have my house in Florida. I'd be fucking packing my bags, and then I'll be fucking that. But since I fucked up somewhere, I guess guys just gotta let me see whatever I did wrong, and so I can correct the error. So I'm just hoping that you know, I corrected enough of the errors. All right. So I'll be stuck in New York City for a little while longer, but I will be leaving this piece of shit city one way or the other. Because the rest of the world, for the most part, is going free, but not this fucking shit city. We're becoming more tyrannical. I fucking hate it here. And I hate the shit libs and Democrats so much for fucking taking away all our freedoms. You know, and the, you know, fake Republicans are pretending to be conservative, but they're really not. But that's okay. Saint Nick and the Trumer First Patriots are going to take them all down anyway. It's a good time to get some more Titano right now. Yesterday I bought Titano. So some of the profits I made from the Astralis flipping. New AMA on Friday, probably packed with some announcements. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to listen to the AMA. Like, if I'm really desperate for making YouTube content, I'll listen to it and I'll just make a video about it. But I'll just you know, I'll take the cliff notes. Alright, so Univ is dipping a little bit. Could be a good buying opportunity. However, because I'm seeing that this total supply is kind of starting to creep up a little bit, you know, we might actually hit 20 billion. That could be an issue. But with that being said, you know, we'll see. I mean, if anything, they might have to just simply increase the tax and burn. Right? Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'm alright for now. So I don't see any new questions, so I'm gonna go. The next content video is gonna be about 2 ohm and then Eris, unless something new pops up as well. So I think I'll do Eris, or I think I'll do 2 ohm and Eris tomorrow, and then no new videos until, you know, I come up with something new. So I don't know. Maybe I'll take a look at Zeus. Well, actually, Zeus Finance isn't even launching, right? And Hera Money's not launching yet either. So I think that's like in a couple of weeks. So actually next week's going to be kind of insane, actually. Alright, that's fine. Alright. So thanks for watching. Make sure you re-watch this video, right? Because I went over a lot of stuff. But yeah, just be careful out there. Because, again, always assume every project you get into, even the ones I recommend, are all scams and rug pulls. And then work backwards from there. Alright? You know, people are so focused on making money that they don't focus enough on how can I lose money. Alright? Because there's no point in making money if you're just going to lose it all in like some stupid Rugpull scam, right? Like Astralis, Multiverse, Doggyverse, Deimos Coin, a couple other projects I can't even remember the name of. They're all scams, right? I mean, who will be the next scammer, right? You know, you just never know. Just never know. Thanks for watching, everybody. Spread this video around because it's obviously very important, right? That's why I'm naming this Astralis Rugpull, so I can rank for all the poor people who just got their asses kicked by these scamming F words. Yeah, my sympathies. And yeah, subscribe, blah blah blah, blow this channel up. Let's get it going because Dow King's also been kicking ass too, right? So, and then yeah, again, I'm in the elite crypto group. So whatever good shit that we find, you know, you guys will get it too, right? You'll get it later, but the price of that later is it's safer. It's a safer project because, you know, we do our best to try to vet everything. But again, at the end of the day, we could very well get it wrong because I technically got Astralis wrong too. Yeah, I made great money pumping and dumping that shit yesterday 3 times. Good for me. Good for, I guess, other people. But I thought it was a legit project. I was wrong. Turned out to be a scam. You just never know, man. Just never know. Think on these things. Well, be careful of thoughts. So, consider what I've been saying and then rewatch the video, spread it around, subscribe to the channel, blah, 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 blah. I'll see you in the next video, which I think will be tomorrow, right? So, thank you. Oh, thank you, by the way, for all you new people coming in. Like, I actually really appreciate it. I actually am kind of surprised how fast this YouTube channel is now finally growing. Because now that I finally found the right content to make, you know. So, thanks. And if you really want a little pro tip, for those of you who are still sticking it out, you actually want to see some of the plays that I make before I do a video on it, you really want to go to my Twitter and check my... Well, first of all, you should go to my Twitter and follow me. But you want to go into my following, and then this is actually where you can get the clue in before. For example, I followed Eris and Universe, but I never talked... Well, not Universe. Ape Universe, right? This is an old tip. But notice I haven't really been talking about that shit. I wonder why. I did the same thing with Nota Compiler. So, you know, you want to get like content ahead of time, you know, you really want to follow me, all right? I'm a big deal for a reason, even though no one really talks about me too much. So, oh yeah, and there's this fun little picture. I had to actually wipe some of this out because I don't want Twitter accidentally like ban me or some shit. So I was like, you know what, I'll remove these. But it's the R word. You can't say the R word on Twitter for some reason. Like, I don't know why you can't say retard on Twitter. You can say it on YouTube for now, so it's just, I don't know, whatever. But yeah, all you guys check it out on my Twitter for all the shit show on the multiverse Discord. See it probably.